Ah, Commander. Come in. Did you need me for something? Favorite agent, huh? High praise with all that competition in the rankings. How will I ever recover? To tell the truth, I'm feeling a bit wrung out, but it ain't anything new in particular. I have good days and bad, pain-wise. Today's the latter. I just need a little downtime. Running about causes all sorts of aches and pains, as you can imagine. Some realer than others. Don't worry, though. I'll be ready when you need me. Ironically, it's sitting or standing still that hurts most. All the fluid sort of pool. Val's program for first aid and triage. Long-term physical therapeutical assistance is a little outside her purview. Though she does try, bless her motors. My stump shrinker here helps. Reduces swelling and gets the blood back to the heart when I'm not moving. Won't say it's the most comfortable thing to wear, but it gets the job done. Ah, well, Zeb got it for me. Done my best to keep it in good shape. No idea where I'd get another one if I lost it. I appreciate that, but in truth, ain't much you could have done, really. Not early on, anyway. Took some time for me to regain my balance and learn how to shift with the prosthetic. Won't lie, it was discouraging at first. Felt like I'd never be at home in my body again. Me too. I'll add I'm not awarding either of them any medals in bedside manner, but probably I needed them pushing me more than any hand-holding. I also thought, at least in those first few years, that you might be out there somewhere too. That maybe, against all odds, you survived. Kept me going, that hope. Wait, Commander, before you head off, how are you faring? I was thinking to myself just now, here you are checking in on me, but you must be feeling some kind of way about all of this too. Waking up 10 years from the time you knew, in a hostile colony at war. And with apocalypse on the horizon? Wonder why that is. I won't pry any further, but if you ever need to talk, or if you have a sudden, burning desire to learn about, I don't know, fuselage maintenance, I'll be here. Need some time on my own for a bit, Commander.
Let us make our way to Paradise Island at once. I hope Virgil has been doing well since last I saw him. Well, we shall find out together.
right there, Arbiter Rao. Though I am here on official business, I would prefer to keep this cordial. The Consul seeks answers related to your recent activities. I approach you openly, in the hopes that you will comply with his request, and come with me peaceably.
What do you blather about? Delay me and you will pay the price. Not only do I have more pressing business with a colleague, but I do not answer to sentinels or the Consul.
Questions of intent. Now, what shall it be, Arbiter Rao? I sent the message that drew you here. Virgil shall not arrive to aid your decision-making.
Virgil's not coming, you say? Curious. And here I was thinking I was already present.
Virgil! Touting your flair for the dramatic, even now, I see. But I fear our reunion must wait until we've dealt with this pawn of the Consul.
I had not expected a third party, but it is so much the better. I'm afraid you must come with me as well, Arbiter Montag.
A sentinel demanding anything of me? What madness! Neither Tristan nor I shall accompany you anywhere. Any attempts to force us shall be met with violent reprisal. I'm sure he only told you such a thing to lower your guard. All the easier to slide a blade between your ribs. This fool impersonated my credentials, triggering a system alert that led me here. A lowly deception, even for one of the Consul's own.
It was a necessary deception, and one not undertaken lightly. Its aim was to draw your colleague here without bloodshed, for I know he would not have arrived at my request.
Your explanation does not pull my heartstrings, Sentinel. Yet you at least had the sense not to assail us outright. Surrender, and perhaps you may yet live.
You may not believe me, but I have much admiration for the work you and Arbiter Montag have done for the Protectorate. I've no wish to fight. Enough loyal subjects have died in this war. Come willingly and peaceably, I beseech you. Both Arbiter Rao and Arbiter Montag were explicitly requested to return to Praetor by the Consul, alongside all other Arbiters some months ago. Refusal without reason is treasonous.
And I'm sure that if we went, we would have been returned whole, neither interrogated nor mentally refreshed. As if your master's nefarious agenda would allow that.
I've no inkling of what you speak. My only master is the Protectorate. My only agenda, the return of peace throughout Arcadia.
For the same reason that a sprat would not answer a Canid's invitation to dinner.
Not quite how I would put it. We simply do not answer to the Consul. I viewed answering his summons as contradictory with my present duties, and chose to ignore them.
If you had nothing to hide, you would have answered his summons. Now, I'm here to make certain you can avoid them no longer.
This conversation is a farce, but Tristan and I are equals. I wish not to act without his agreement.
For my part, I may suspect the Consul's agents, but I do appreciate that the circumstances of their role is unique. If a fellow Protectorate citizen engages me in combat, I am within my rights to defend myself. But this Sentinel has come to me openly, under the norms of Protectorate law. From his perspective, I could almost see his point. That is not what I meant, and you know it. I was trying to put myself in a fellow subject's station. This is an unusual situation. Very well. But be warned, I'm not exactly trained in the art of improvisation. We'll need a very good reason for my not answering the Consul's summons.
Come now, do you expect me to believe that? Not only are you not in shackles, but you're also still alive. I can't imagine Arbiter Rao would have allowed that willingly.
Yes, we were going to find their stash of contraband Protectorate rations, with all the labels crossed out. Architect preserve us.
I see. It would appear I misjudged this situation after all. I must reinterpret my orders. Accosting you illegally and the subsequent punishment would be mortifying.
So he's chosen not to attack, but the situation has not changed. We spare him. His master gains another tool to cover up the Supreme Arbiter's death.
What are you talking about? I do not seek to hide the Supreme Arbiter's death. I seek to find her killer. Such was next on my list of duties, after I apprehended you.
This is all clearly a tactic on the Consul's behalf. By sending out his agents, he seeks to deflect suspicion from himself. That is, if our compatriot here speaks true.
What must you think of me, or my fellow Sentinels, that you'd even suggest I'd lie to arbiters? I'm not the one positing scurrilous accusations about our beloved Consul. But you needn't take me at my word. My next assignment was to investigate the Oculus collating post. A hidden room there may contain information pertinent to the investigation. I cannot speak to its purpose, only that it is strange and worthy of investigation.
Or it is yet another falsity, intended to draw us close before snapping our necks.
It's a risk worth taking. I can endure whatever the Consul sends my way, and if there is a minuscule chance that this Sentinel speaks true, we must investigate.
I'm pleased to be of service, in some manner or another. Protectorate subjects should aid one another. Secret is a misnomer. The room appears to have been built by mistake, but someone forestalled its demolition without marking it on station blueprints. This is what is suspect. I will take my leave of the lot of you, and in peace. It is my sincere hope that circumstances are as you claim, lest we be forced to meet again.
I shall follow him out, just to certify he intends to act as he speaks. That's done with. He left peaceably, as he said, though I have my doubts for how long.
That was some impressively savvy improvisation before, Commander. Without you, circumstances would have certainly devolved into a battle to the death.
I'll spare you my doubts for the umpteenth time, Tristan. I just hope the risk is worthwhile.
I appreciate your caution, but it is quite unnecessary. My comrade and I will look into Oculus collating post. Yes, but never for long, and it's been many years. I also have no recollection of any hidden room, so we may have some hunting to do. I regret we've not had more time to talk, Virgil. It has been ages.
Worry not. I'm certain we'll have plenty of time to converse when you've finished your investigation. I have several leads of my own to pursue, as a matter of fact. Until our paths cross again, my friend.
I've only visited Oculus Collating Post a handful of times, and that was long before its deprecation. But something is to be found there. I'm sure of it.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. Active places? These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully. Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place. Run! Viscerally!
But alas, it's not charged. Unnecessary vulnerabilities identified.
Let us proceed with due haste. There. I'm certain of movement below. Gird yourself with determination, for it seems I was correct about another body being here.
Passcode is limber. No. Let's try amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, you may be right. Whoever hired him must not have known about his addled mind. They were moving quickly, desperately.
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you.
I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. I didn't. I was only told it was hidden. My memories of home may be gone, but my instincts are still intact. Such comfort as that merits.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, for I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. Our work at the refugee camp did not slake your investigative hunger? I doubt you'll be able to surmise it exactly, but come even close, and I shall be impressed. For myself, the Supreme Arbiter, and Virgil especially, if judgment is the Arbiter's gavel, what is the Arbiter's scalpel? Ah, you've got the spirit exactly, if not the word itself. Very nice. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free? Objectively to whom? Damn it! Forget this. Forget it all. I can't allow any specter of doubt to creep into my decisions. Let us list this incident as a fluke and move on. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul's Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Excellent. I look forward to it.
Glad you stopped by. I had something I wanted to ask you. Now that we're out of pulping distance, are you sure about recruiting that Arbiter? That hammer's a fine piece of weaponry, sure enough. How much can we trust the hand wielding it? Don't let the luxuriant hair and good looks fool you. Sorry, misspoke. I meant good manners. Arbiters ain't like us. Facts matter less to them than personal judgments. Once the boulder's going, someone's getting crushed. I've seen it happen more than once. Yeah, right up until he decides we need a little judging too. I'm guessing you didn't come here to talk about Rao, though. So what's on your mind?
Why would the Supreme Arbiter have met with the Consul? Ah, no use speculating. We'll know soon enough. Let us make our way to Central Control forthwith. This ship is certainly quaint. The grease stains and thrice retrofitted pipes give one the thrilling impression that the ship might burst into flames at any moment. I suppose there's something charming about its lived-in nature. Nevertheless, I have availed myself of the ship's cleaning supplies. Unsightliness is an enemy as sure as any other.
Enemy in vicinity. Scoping out a hostile. Combatant observed. Hostile nod.
That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order.
Closer inspection. It's over there.
The old quarters are... they have all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Why, Tristan, are you actually having a demonstrable human reaction?
I'm fine. Some arid dust merely found its way into my eye.
There, a misbegotten fool, soon to fall.
Deserves a look.
I've eyes on a miscreant.
breath and every smile, every step in every mile. The paradigm as a whole.
Malefactor ahead.
Better take a gander. Boy, damn, that is quite perturbing.
I am inclined to give chase.
It's over there. Questions are an addiction.
Combat probable.
Thinking never made it.
I sense scum and close.
That somebody? Better take a gander. Hence, a formal audit of the grounds. Seems suspect to me. Let no enemy remain. One assumes their intentions untoward. There! Found you!
Seems the Consul is not devoted to the idea of training future arbiters. I wish I could say I were surprised. Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.
A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry.
Suspicion, rightly so. All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
Move your heels! Faster! The enemies of the Protectorate won't stand around waiting for you to kill them! dictates. Eye your neighbors carefully. The sovereign provides, the system abides.
Prudence dictates it is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
To ensure they are operating at peak efficiency and
Thinking never made anybody happy.
every protectorate subject, ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times.
The system abides.
Scoping out a hostile.
Prudence dictates imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry.
I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. You must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below. Someone's coming up! Hurry!
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Actually, it wasn't. Perhaps at first, until I discerned her true intentions. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Those unable to accept the truth do often invent their own.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. Don't twist in me. Just because the situation looks dire doesn't mean... Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
This is not the time for your deranged jests.
Well, that's ridiculous. My interest in Arbiter Rao is purely professional.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not, but I know the reality of swaying an arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters. What junior arbiter isn't? He was one of the Supreme Arbiter's protégés. It was he who brought the traitorous senior warden of Pharaoh's Bastion to justice. It was the first I'd ever heard of evidence collection. When I heard that story, I knew, or thought, that Arbiter Rao had a true belief in justice. And that appeared logical. After all, he's meant to represent a shining example of what we all hope to become. All I know is that I'll have a great many framed images I'll need to get rid of after this.
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. Killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right? The reason I have deserted is to search for evidence leading to the true killer of the Supreme Arbiter. I know the concept of evidence is not broadly taught. The Supreme Arbiter taught me to seek out the facts of one who has committed a crime in order to better identify them, in order to avoid judging innocence. This, in turn, would allow me to do my duty more properly, and to improve society as a result. You see, I haven't deserted the Protectorate. I'm conducting my own investigation.
But by looking into her death, you go against High Command's official statement. You claim to know better than the Protectorate.
And if I am mistaken, I shall submit myself for judgment. But I have already found evidence to the contrary. All that stands between me and the true killer is you. You're no fool. I can see you understand my reasoning. All that you must decide now is if it is right to render judgment upon me. We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker, without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Wasn't expecting such a mature resolution from our little arbiter. I'm impressed. And not even in a backhanded compliment sort of way.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Appreciate you using your forebrain for a change.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. I assure you, I was once there. Any arbiter of note must build their character on a foundation of enthusiasm. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.